The carriage arrived before sunrise. No announcement, no escort, just wheels on gravel. Slow, deliberate. The Plantation ledger later marked the date, June 4th, 1847. One female, age estimated 19, purchased in Charleston. No name recorded, only a price, $640. The house staff noticed first. Windows cracked open, curtains moved, whispers traveled faster than the horses. New arrivals were common, but this one felt observed. She stepped down without help. Thin cotton dress, hands unchained, eyes steady, not lowered. The overseer wrote her number on a slate board, then erased it, wrote it again, as if unsure. The master watched from the veranda, still in his nightcoat, coffee untouched. He rarely came out for deliveries. Records show he delegated such things. Yet that morning, he stood there, motionless, arms folded, studying. Not the carriage, her. She did not look frightened. That detail appears twice in a housemaid's later statement. She didn't look like the others. No crying, no pleading, no questions, just quiet observation of doors, of windows, of people. Like someone memorizing a map. By breakfast, she had already been reassigned. Not fields, not laundry. Inside the house, silver polishing, dining hall service. Closer to the main rooms, closer to him. No reason documented, just a note in the margin. Keep near the house. Short instruction. Unusual. That night, the master remained awake longer than usual. A candle burned past midnight in his study. The clerk recorded it out of habit. Oil usage increased. Small details, small changes. Nothing dramatic, but the routine had shifted. And on plantations, routine was everything. When routine broke, something followed. No one said it aloud. They simply watched her and waited. The plantation kept records for everything. Cotton yield, rainfall, broken tools, punishments, births, deaths. Paper survived longer than people. The house itself was quiet, structured, predictable. Servants moved on fixed schedules. 5 a.m., fires lit. 6 a.m., floors swept. 7 a.m., breakfast service. No deviations. The master preferred control, precise, measured. He counted silverware himself, every Sunday. Forks, knives, spoons. 32, 32, 32. Always aligned. Dust disturbed him. Noise irritated him. Conversation was minimal. He was known for restraint, not cruelty, not kindness, just distance. Until she entered the routine. Within 3 days, small irregularities appeared. A chair slightly angled, books stacked differently, curtains tied tighter than usual. Nothing wrong, just altered, intentional. The steward noticed first, then the cook, then the clerk. They said nothing, but they began watching her hands. She worked quietly, too precisely, too aware. She learned the house faster than expected. By the second week, she knew which stair creaked, which door stuck, which windows faced the fields. Knowledge was survival. The master began appearing more often indoors. Excuses written in the ledger, inventory review, inspection storage, cloth count, tasks normally delegated, now personal. Witness accounts mention pauses, him standing in doorways, watching her polish silver, not speaking, just observing, longer than necessary. It unsettled the others, not because of affection, because attention from a master rarely ended well for anyone. One evening, the steward recorded something odd. She was reassigned again, from general service to the study, paper handling, ledger copying, close work, close quarters, an unusual privilege or a risk. The margin note was short. She reads. 3 words, underlined once. After that, the house felt different, quieter, like people lowering their voices in a church, not out of respect, out of caution. The first incident was minor, almost invisible. A ledger moved 3 inches across the desk, nothing more. But the master kept strict alignment, perfect edges, perfect corners. He noticed immediately, asked her, "Did you touch it?" "Yes, sir." No excuse, no apology, just acknowledgement. Witnessed by the steward, later recorded. Her voice described as steady, too steady. Another moment followed days later. Silver laid out for dinner. 1 fork reversed, facing the wrong direction. Again, subtle. Again, intentional. Testing boundaries. He corrected nothing, which confused the staff more than punishment would have. Then came the storm. Heavy wind, windows rattling, workers indoors. She was sent to dust the study, alone with him. Footsteps, soft, brush against wood. He asked questions, simple ones. Where she learned letters, who taught her numbers. She answered carefully, someone who is gone. No elaboration, no fear. The room stayed quiet except for rain. Too quiet. Later that night, oil consumption doubled again. Another candle burned through. He wasn't sleeping. Servants noticed. So did the overseer. And overseers noticed everything. Whispers began. Favoritism, protection, interest. On plantations, those words were dangerous because attention drew enemies, and enemies waited patiently, especially for someone new, especially for someone close to the house. By the end of the week, one fact became clear. She wasn't trying to please him. She wasn't trying to rebel. She was measuring him, learning limits, seeing what he would allow. And strangely, he allowed everything. The accusation came quietly. A single bottle of imported rum. Gone. Storage inventory. Short by 1. Value noted. $3.10. Small amount. But theft required punishment. Always. The overseer handled the search. Methodical. Trunks opened. Beds overturned. Questions repeated. Same tone, same stare. Her name surfaced quickly. She works closest to the stock. Opportunity. That word carried weight. No evidence, just proximity. The master attended the questioning. Unusual. He normally avoided discipline. This time, he stayed. Watched. She stood straight, hands folded. I didn't take it. Simple statement. No defense. The overseer pushed harder. Suggested confinement. Public example. Fear kept order. The master refused. Too quickly. Witnesses noticed. Silence followed. Heavy, like air before rain. Search continued. Nothing found. Yet the rumor remained. Rumors didn't need proof. They needed targets. That evening, the master issued new instructions. Double patrols. Rear storage only. Limited access. On paper, it looked routine, but everyone understood. He was protecting her, quietly, which made her more vulnerable. Protection meant importance. Importance meant resentment. That night, someone scratched her door. Not knocking, just a warning. She did not open it. Inside, she stayed awake, listening, counting seconds. Across the yard, a lamp burned in the master's study again, long past midnight. 2 rooms, 2 people. Neither sleeping. Both aware something had shifted. And once a master chose someone, the rest of the plantation noticed. The ending isn't written dramatically. There is no confession, no confrontation. Just documents, cold ones. 3 weeks later, another ledger entry appears. Different ink, different handwriting. Transfer approved. Her number listed. No explanation, no destination, just removal. Sudden, efficient. The master signed it himself, which was rare, very rare. Servants expected punishment. Instead, she vanished. Before dawn, same as she arrived. Carriage. No noise. No farewell. The overseer stopped asking questions. Rumors stopped too, like someone had closed a door. Years later, county archives recorded something unusual. The master sold half the plantation. Reduced staff. Reduced output. Stopped hosting guests. Oil purchases decreased. Candles. Unused. He slept again, but neighbors described him as distracted, absent, walking fields alone at night, checking empty rooms. Small habits, quiet changes, nothing dramatic, just subtraction. One historian found a final detail, folded inside an old account book. A scrap of paper, not official, not logged. 3 words written lightly, almost erased. Keep her near. Same phrase as the first week. Same handwriting. The order that started everything. Then, nothing. No letters. No follow-up. No trace of her name anywhere. Only numbers, dates, receipts. Like she had never existed. But routines had broken. And routines rarely broke without reason. Some plantations were remembered for revolts. Some for fires. This one was remembered for something smaller, quieter. A master who changed, for no recorded reason, after one girl passed through his house and left nothing behind except absence. And sometimes, absence is the only evidence history leaves behind. Plantations kept everything on paper. Weights, harvests, punishments, costs. Ink rarely forgot. Yet sometimes, one person disappears between the lines. No death record, no sale receipt, no burial, just absence. Her number stops mid-page, as if the clerk lifted his pen and never returned. The master's logs changed after that year. Fewer purchases, fewer guests, no new domestic transfers. The house staff slowly rotated out. The study remained locked more often. Dust gathered on shelves once cleaned daily. Silver counts stopped being recorded. Small neglects, quiet ones, the kind no one notices at first. Neighbors later described him differently. Not cruel, not kind, just distracted. Walking the veranda at night, standing near the road at dawn, watching nothing, waiting for nothing, or perhaps for someone who would never return. Historians find revolts, fires, escapes. Those leave evidence. This did not. Only a changed routine, a signed transfer, and one unfinished note. Keep her near. 3 words, then silence. Whatever passed between them was never written down. And history, when it cannot explain something, simply erases it. But sometimes the quietest stories leave the deepest marks. Not in records, not in archives, only in what stopped happening afterward. And on that plantation, after she left, almost everything did.